Welcome to Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith
and Roxann, presented by The Triggered Project.
Find out more information about The Triggered Project, go to www.triggered1.com. Welcome. This is Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith Maskell.
And Roxann Maskell.
Man, and of course, we're picking it up. We were talking about spiritual wellness. But Roxann, what's up? How are you?
I'm great today.
Mm-hmm.
You?
Hair's all curly and everything, and you're wearing stripes.
I know.
You don't wear a lot of stripes.
I don't wear a lot of stripes. Mm-hmm. But I think they look pretty good, don't you? I think stripes look good on me.
Right. Did I buy that t-shirt?
No.
Wow.
I buy a couple things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all you.
Right. You did a great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm all right. Mm-hmm. I'm all right. Like I said, it's a blessing to always have the opportunity to record and to, be in a great space like this. So I'm always thankful. It always gives me energy. And I do think that, I'll probably fall down after this. But until then, let's have some fun. Let's get it.
Carry on.
Exactly. Let's get it. So let's pick it up. We were talking about spiritual wellness, talked a little bit about, how we kind of grew up, and started talking a little bit about, planning our wedding and, how we're spiritual together. Do you feel like we're spiritual together? Like, do you feel like we have a spiritual vibe between us?
That sounds like a sexual question. I got a little confused there. What do you mean by are we spiritual together?
I didn't say a sexual spiritual vibe.
You didn't. But maybe it's your eyeballs, the way you were looking at me, looking all, sexy eyeballs.
Really?
I got confused for a second.
Okay.
I'm looking into your eyes. I'm sorry.
Okay. There's
My bad.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, It's interesting. Do you know that some women say that you can't look into a man's eyes because you will lose yourself and he'll have complete control over you? Have you heard that?
I've heard it. It doesn't work on me. I don't give a shit.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. Yeah, no, not working.
I'm giving you some dreamy eyes right now. It's not working?
No.
Okay.
It looks like you got something in your eye, not dreamy eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But sometimes you get distracted?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a good check-in. That's a good check-in.
Yeah. Okay. What do you mean by spiritual? Do we share spirituality with each other?
Spiritual vibe.
Oh,
right?
Vibe.
Yeah, spiritual vibe.
I mean, I think that we operate like community, you and I, friends,
right?
Support.
My dog, my homie.
Yep. Lift each other up.
Road dog.
We support each other, like I rub your back, you rub my back when we're having a hard time.
That's right.
When one of us is sick. Like, I think those are all elements of being a good person spiritually.
Yeah.
And I think we do that well.
Yeah. Well, I think that I think we're connected in many different ways, but I definitely feel like we have a spiritual vibe. Like,
yeah, say what you notice, so I can just understand a little bit more what you mean.
Like, I feel blessed around you. Like, I feel anointed around you. I feel a sense of not just excitement, but I feel a sense of calmness, right? And people always like, wow, y'all have good vibe, right? Y'all, like, I love being around you all. Like, I can chill and, I don't feel like a third wheel. Or people just say, like, I really appreciate your energy. And so,
right?
No,
that's true.
Right.
That's
so
true.
I feel like there's good spiritual energy between us.
No, I can agree with
together.
I can agree that. I mean, even when we're struggling with each other, I think we make decisions to pause, to take space.
Right.
Or sometimes just to sort of try to, let it go in the moment. Right. And I think that's being spiritual, right? Because what it is like, giving to each other, right? I'm gonna give you that space, right? I'm gonna trust and assume that you need the space and that we can come back to this, and I'm gonna trust you on that, right? We're gonna come back to, or that you're not trying to hurt my feelings,
right? But I think also too is with being survivors. Have you ever had a point where you were mad at God? I know some survivors have felt that way.
I have never been angry at God.
Yeah.
Maybe questioning, maybe desperate, maybe pleading. I just been angry with my parents.
Yeah.
Well, like the people who are doing the thing.
Right. But I mean, when I say God, creator, whoever, universe, however people feel, but
no.
Yeah.
When things aren't working out and I have my conversations with God, I just get sad more than anything.
Yeah.
And I don't remember or ever have had the feeling that I was angry with God.
Right. Yeah, I've never had those type of thoughts at all. But but what is in general, right? Because people may listen to the podcast and are thinking about their spiritual wellness. What do you think it exactly means? I don't know if we ever really talked about, what that actually means. So you can put on your therapist hat. Go ahead.
I think that thanks.
You're welcome.
I think it's taking space and being reflective about who you want to be, who you're being, what changes you want to make for you.
Right.
I think it's taking some quiet time. And if that gets represented going to church, then it does. But I don't believe that it has to. I think that God lives in us.
Right.
And we can sort of ebb and flow in the way that makes sense for us.
Right.
Like I told you, I had a conversation with somebody recently and they were asking me about being saved. And it's not that I can't accept that concept, but it doesn't rule me. Like, it's not like, I don't feel it as guidance. I feel like how I want to be with people is what guides me, right? Like my interpretation of what it means to be a good person.
Right.
And I just try my best, knowing that I always have the opportunity to keep trying and working on me.
Right. Yeah, and I think, sometimes the people talking about save is like it's a special club. You know what I'm saying?
That's how, I did feel like...
like it's a frat. You know what I'm saying?
When I was talking to this person...
Save?
They kept asking me questions, like these real directive questions. And I was like, yeah, I believe that I'm going to be in heaven. And it was like, how? And I was just like... Because
I said so.
No, I just feel like I try really hard to be a good person. I make errors, I make mistakes.
Right, of course.
I just try really hard, and I keep God in mind.
Yeah.
And I treat people as best as I know how.
Right.
I get mad at people, but
of course.
It is like a club, and I was just like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's sometimes how it feels. But I think oftentimes what happens with couples is they may be in two different places, right? We were in two different places spiritually, but that we made that work regardless, because we would have discussions about it, right? I respect where you are, you respect where I was, and then we still could come together. Right. But it's all about the conversation, because that's why we do the podcast, having these conversations, hopefully couples will sit and talk about it. Right. And try to get on the same page. And even if they're not on the same page, to understand. Right.
Well, that's the thing. Right.
And give grace.
I think one of the things that we always promote with the podcast is you must be able to communicate.
Right.
About anything, everything. And if you can't figure out when you can, get help, figure it out. But you have to talk. People have to talk to each other. You're not going to make it in a relationship without communicating.
Yeah.
And I think some people would be like, what do you mean you go to church by yourself and Keith goes online? Why aren't you together? And I think some people at church are kind of wondering that, but they're not willing to ask. And I'm just kind of like, when a couple of people have asked me why you're not there, I go, well, he's playing basketball. And they don't say anything, but I can imagine what they're thinking.
They're like, what?
Right. Why is he
playing ball? Because that's part of my quiet time. Right?
That's and part of my physical wellness, that's part of my right? Physical wellness. Physical wellness is another component to a wellness plan. Spiritual, correct. Physical, right? Emotional and social, right?
Yeah. I need to get my ball on, but I am there. I am still there with you, right? I'm not physically, so to speak, but I'm still there with you, right? And so, sometimes people, look for the cracks. You know what I mean? In terms of, in general, but in terms of us, because, they see us on the podcast, and they hear us. We've spoken in church before, and stuff. So people have a certain image, that, and most of the time we're always together. We've been together. Yeah. We've been together probably, I would say 80% of our lives, daily lives, we're probably together, right? It's very it's very rare if I'm out somewhere. It's not like I hang out that much, but if I go somewhere and people are like, yo, where's Rox?
Yeah. I'm
like,
no, that's true. They're always asking for one of us if we're not together. Right.
And I'm like,
it's true.
I don't know. They're like, what that's you mean? I'm like, forget her. I'm here.
Whatever.
Whatever. Because that's just me being, being silly. But I just think that's why does it seem like it has to be like it's a separate thing, right? Can we be together? Can we be separate but be together?
All the time. We talk all the time.
Just saying.
And it's weird when we don't talk all day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. We don't check in and, hey, what's up? And, and those things, but I think that's an important point, finding the balance of, what folks' spirituality is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, figuring out in terms of that, in terms of that wellness package that we're talking about. So,
And so I did remember all 4 components: spiritual, social, emotional, and physical. 4 components of wellness. Remember in the last time I was like thinking I was forgetting.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the emotional. What you got for that, Dr. Roxann?
It's not Dr. Roxann, but okay.
You're a doctor to me.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk about kind of when we're not doing a good job communicating, right? So sometimes we need to use communication to tell people how we feel. And that's how we get people to sort of address our feelings, if you will, right? Like you can't expect somebody to know and just like assume, or like you really have to tell people what it is. And I find myself sometimes feeling like I have to say that hurt my feelings, or that didn't feel good, or I'm just not feeling well right now, or like my spirit is low. Like there's different ways that I describe it to you, and what I'm hopeful for is that communication will give you the opportunity to help me and navigate what's going on for me. And that's part of, I think, my emotional wellness. I think also being with other people and talking my stuff with other people, which I don't usually do because I don't always feel like I can trust people. But I've been trying to trust people a little bit more, like in a friendly way, right? And, talk about work issues with coworkers, going to my therapist and maybe telling her the truth about what's going on. Because, people can go to therapy, but they don't always tell the truth.
Say that again, girl.
People go to therapy, but they don't always tell you the truth. And then they expect the therapist to be able to help them when they're hiding all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, I think that's really important in terms of emotional health, right? And this is one of the hardest things I always say, being able to tell yourself the truth first. Before you can tell anybody else, you have to tell yourself, right? So some people go to therapy and they don't give themselves over to the process, and they only tell part of the story, and they're basically going through the motions because it's really difficult and hard.
And I get that. And they feel like they're going to be judged.
Right.
That's one of the top things that I hear. And, you know, like, I'm just kind of like, what's the point? I've said it twice this week to clients. I'm not your friend. I'm not your family. You pay me. Right? I'm going to say that again. You pay me as a therapist to support you. So I'm wondering why you're having a hard time giving me the information that I need so I can do that. Right.
Now, in my mind, you're like singing this, you know, I'm not your lover. I'm not your friend. If we put that in the Prince song, you know what I'm saying?
You pay my ass.
Right, exactly, right, whatever. I'm not your love.
I'm like, if you want to pay me and not tell me what's going on.
Right.
So, all right, let's do that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. And when I've said things like that, I'm like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the nature of our relationship because I feel like you're getting it twisted right now.
There's boundaries in place, right? There are boundaries. But, I mean, I think it's also important to say, and we said this over in season 1, is that, you know, in terms of your emotional health, you're responsible for that. In terms of my emotional health, I am responsible for that. We can ask for assistance at certain times. We can ask for assistance.
And we should.
But we are both responsible for ourselves in terms of that, right? And I think that's important, right? Because people can be like, well, you must get free therapy because no.
Oh, no.
No.
I cannot do therapy for the masses and then come home and do therapy.
No. And that's not an expectation. That's not an expectation.
But that's a lack of boundaries too.
No, I don't.
If I'm in that role, then it makes it awkward and weird for me to get my needs met too.
Right.
No.
But people always say that, right? People always say that.
Say what?
Always say, like, they always make comments like, well, you must get really good therapy from her. And I'm like, no.
I mean, I might give some good advice.
You give some advice, but like...
It's not therapy, though.
No. That's no.
I'm very... I think I'm very different as a therapist than I am as a wife.
Yeah, I'm never in the room with you, so I don't know.
And that's
okay.
I'm saying.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
That's another part of your life that's yours and special and you know, what makes you really dope. So, you know...
Yep.
That's how I think about it. Now, would you give any advice about if someone wanted to work on their emotional health, what that would look like? Or how can it look?
I mean, I talk to a lot of people who are not well emotionally. So, yes, that's like a regular.
Right.
I think that we talked about the wellness plan.
Correct.
Right? It's about understanding what each of those components are. Where you're at. Do you have, answering some questions about each of those components, the social, the emotional, the spiritual, and the physical. I think it's a combination of all those things on a daily, weekly basis.
That helps with your emotional health?
Yeah, I think they're all interconnected, to be honest. I can see that.
They all kind of feed, right, because they feed your emotional and mental health. So,
and then knowing who your support community is, who are your people, and which things can you go to them for. Right? And just sort of, sometimes with some people, you have to ask permission. Like when I'm like really down, can I give you a call? Can we hang out? Can we go out? That'll pick up my spirits, that kind of thing. It's really a lot of planning of your life and how you activate every day or every week. And being mindful that, you have to change that every year, right? So sometimes I've gotten people who say, how do you listen to people every day, all day long, and do this therapy thing all the time? And you just look fine with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have my own self-care plan. And I rework it every year because I change. And there's different things I need to work on. And so I think it's that. I think it's having a plan, trying your best to work on it, being honest on the areas that you continue to need to work on, and then revamping it every year with the assumption that you evolve, progress, and change.
No, I think that's well said. I think that as being a survivor, it's always a struggle to get on track. and to kind of stay on track. Sometimes it's easier said than done, right?
Oh yeah, I really struggle in the physical wellness. Like really struggle. I just can't figure out how to sustain physical wellness in my life.
Yeah, you can figure it out though.
I mean, that's what you keep saying.
No, you're going to figure it out because like you're going to be like 75 and you're not going to be able to move. And so you're going to
that's a really beautiful picture you want to feed me right now.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Times are moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yep.
some people say stuff don't crack, but it falls apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, it falls apart.
I'm laughing because I've had a couple of clients and I'm like, boo-boo, that's your body picking you up like WWE and slamming you on the ground. And you're choosing not to understand that. And I've said that a couple of times this week, and I'm like, your body is talking to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, take my advice.
No question. I think that the physical stuff is all about rhythm. It's all about belief. It's also about figuring out what works. And then if you have a sport that goes along with it, like you just started playing volleyball again, I think that's going to help you. Like, no question. The fact that I started playing ball again, and I know I play every Sunday, and I don't want to be out, be winded all the time and not making up any ground and stuff. So, it gives me some motivation to be like, okay, well, I know I need to get out there and run a little bit. I need to go out and shoot. I need to ride my bike. I need to do all those things. And then do my push-ups and planks every night. And sometimes I'm like, oh, do I really want to do this? And it's like, no, you need to do this because it's going to help your back. It's going to help your knees. It's going to help.
Yeah, I think sometimes I get concerned with you because you'll push yourself to do that stuff and you're already just not feeling well.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It's hard. Do you think that in terms of, people's emotional wellness, sometimes just laying with you is great, right? I think sometimes just trying to be with your partner and just lay with them. You don't even have to say anything. You just lay with them, put on some music. Like, I think that's great for people's emotional health. Like, no question. Laying, play some music, put on that old school slow jam tape or that old school Spotify channel, and just chill. You know what I mean? Kind of like Tony. Just chill like that.
That's something that we did recently together. Mm-hmm. We went to see Tony together.
That's right. Yep,
That's another like really replenishing.
Correct.
Experience, right? Yep. At the end, we were like jamming. Like the whole concert, we're just sitting down, taking it all in. Nope. We're all chill. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, we were just up and jamming.
Yeah, blackout. Y'all heard it from the Music in Our Relationship Part 1 and 2. This is things when I stopped black. I forgot about that song and I just went in. When my friends saw me and they were like, oh.
Yeah.
Yo,
people were pointing at you. Just people around us. They were like pointing at you.
Really?
It was like, it was like you were on stage, not Tony. I was cracking up.
I was going off.
Yeah, you were. You were.
I didn't know people were pointing at me.
Yes, people were pointing at you. They were like, look at him.
Wow, that's crazy.
You were making a scene.
I was.
That's also part of your wellness, dancing, right?
No question. Oh, great for my emotional health, my physical, my spiritual, like most definitely. That was always been a big part of my life. You know what I mean? So, but you've been listening to Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith Maskell
and Roxann Maskell.
We are so, again, every time we're here, we're so excited. It's our new home to be recording. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. But remember, you're no longer surviving, you're thriving, and you've earned that. Thank you for listening to Living a Triggered Life podcast with Keith
and Roxann, presented by The Triggered Project.
To find out more information about The Triggered Project, go to www.triggered1.com. And remember, you're no longer surviving, you're thriving, and you've earned